everybody, Mary Mitchell here. Before I get started on this, I took this frame that I got from Hobby Lobby called an open frame that I stained with dark wood stain, and I didn't like it, so I decided to buy some chalk paint from Michael's, and I got some wax to seal it and finish it. But before I get started, I encourage you to look up Annie Sloan. She seems to be a real master at this, but anyway, let's begin my journey. So I am a newbie with chalk paint and wax sealant. I've done it once. I found it not as easy as I thought. So let's begin. I sanded down my frame. I chose my chalk paint that I got from Michael's. I used a repurposed yogurt cup and bought these brushes that are specifically made to paint and then apply the wax sealant to, which protects it as well as gives it a nice soft shine. As you can see, this substrate, this frame, is very grooved, it's very textured, and this paintbrush is absolutely perfect for this frame, or any other substrate where you have a lot of grooves, holes, anything that's not absolutely smooth, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so I went around the entire frame, the sides, the front. I didn't do the back because I will use a dust cover on it. Now, as I was doing this, I found some pretty good size holes. Why I didn't really notice it when I was applying the stain is because I probably noticed it, but the stain was dark and I thought, well, it's not really going to show anyway. But when I decided to change it to white, there's one, and then there's another one. They must use repurposed wood or something, which doesn't bother me. So what I did is, if you have wood filler or some spackle, just fill it in. I probably should have done this before I started painting, but the horse left the barn, so it's too late for that. So I did apply it, as you see here. I slowed it down so you could see. You could also put it on the uneven corners, or you could sand down the corners. I decided to fill it in with this. But guess what? Even after I sanded it down, they stayed uneven. I just left it alone because I'm not worried about this so much. I could have applied more, but I didn't bother. I like this frame exactly. They came out really great. Very, very happy with this process, and I was very careful also with the wax, because wax can be very challenging, a wax sealant / protector. And that's why I encourage you to look at other websites where people are they do this all the time on furniture and bigger projects than this. Now this frame, technically, I really didn't have to apply the wax, but I wanted to. I wanted that soft shine. I wanted it to be to look smoother and not so matte. So that's why I did it. So what you want to do is, with your paint, try not to apply it too thick. Make sure, as I said, get all sides and wait 2 hours in between each coat. Now there's the wax that I used. So double check me on this, but I believe you can apply this wax an hour after the paint is fully dried. I would probably wait a little longer just to ensure that it's fully cured. It's not going to hurt to wait longer. The longer you wait, the more that you can be sure it's cured, dried and cured. So when they say to apply a thin coat of wax, do apply a thin coat of wax. Don't go too thick, or you're going to run into some issues. I'm not going to go over them here, but it would be worth it for you to just look those up. Look at other websites that explain this process. This was a basically new experience for me, and it came out very well, but I did look up the pros and cons. Now I'm buffing it out. Don't rush to buff your piece out. Let it dry overnight, because if you try to buff it too soon, the wax won't be completely dry, and you're going to end up just moving the wax around on the frame or on the piece that you're doing. So let it dry overnight, and then buff it out. And this is what you're going to get. Look at this. It's smooth. It's got a very soft shine. It's really, it came out so nice. I'm so pleased with this. The wax was, so easy to buff, even with all the grooves. So this is the other side of the frame that I did not wax yet. I wanted to show this to you so that you can decide. This is matte. It doesn't have that same shine. It doesn't have that same smoothness, but that doesn't make it bad. It's up to you. On a piece like this, you don't really have to worry about waxing it if you don't want to. However, on larger pieces, you will want to apply the wax so that you can really protect it from bumps and other things that can damage a piece. With something like this, it's not as imperative. I did it because I really like the finish of the wax. I just find it to be aesthetically pleasing and softer to look at. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.